Hi guys, welcome back. So today I'm gonna show you that um, the sign in and sign up process of our website. So what it basically do is that taking these the data we fill in this sign up section, and when we click the sign up button, it's basically what we're gonna do is that validating them and storing inside our database. So you can see that this is the sign up button. When we click the sign up button, it's gonna call a function in our JavaScript side, which is called sign up function. So in the previous video also I told that what does the document dot get element by ID does is that there's an ID called f name I have written in the first name input area. You can see that. See, this is the ID. What it basically do is that taking the tag, which is the input tag, taking that tag from the ID called fname, and from that through that we can access what are the classes in this tag and what is the type of the tag. We can access what is the value in this tag. We can access for those kind of areas. So in this at this moment I have access to what is the value in this tag, which is the basically what we have written in this tag. So we're gonna take it and store it in the fname variable. I have similarly done for the other inputs too. And we're gonna create a form data. It's a form that we keep a name and value pair. And there's a thing called Ajax. What did do that communicating with the PHP side and with the JavaScript side. It's like a connection between both of them. So we can send the data from the JavaScript side to the PHP side. Since PHP side, nobody can see the PHP files because actually that should be hidden. The backend should be hidden, but everybody can see the JavaScript side though. So we're gonna send this data for the PHP side. There's only two ways of sending data to this PHP side, which is called as post method. You can see in here we have mentioned in the post method, and the other way is that get method. The difference between those two is that when we send the data from the post method, we have to actually create a form data which can keep multiple data from variables, which we're gonna keep as name value pairs. It's in a form. And what if we put in the get method, we don't need to keep it as form value data in here. We can combine to these URL and we're gonna send it. So the only disadvantage at this moment is when we combine the data our URL, it's gonna show you what is the password actually you have wrote. Even though in here it's not gonna show you, but when we put the get method, it's gonna show you in the URL. So we don't need to do that because we don't need others to show the password you have typed. That's why we're gonna use the post method in this moment, and we're gonna send the data we're gonna that combined to our form data variable. We're gonna send that the data to the sign up process. What this means that whether we're gonna use the ajax or sajax function. So we're gonna create a request which is actually a XML HTTPS request. What that does is that send this data, which send the form variable which has all the data we're gonna send to the PHP side. We have to create a request for that. So we're gonna request to communicate with the sign up process.php. So we're gonna go to the sign up process. So this is the backend code. So we have included the library called connection. In the previous time, I didn't actually set it for you guys. So to create uh, to at the area of the gender side, to even search this, we have to include the library called connection.php, which we have created. Otherwise, we can't search. So we're going to include this, the connection.php. And what does this mean is that in the post, when we're sending in the post, we are going to use the exam for this, for local hosting. So from the exam, what they do is that they're going to create an array, and we are going to send the name value pair. Actually, at this moment you can see that we're going to send in from the name value pair. So they're going to assign the a value called f, the value called f name as f. It's basically an associative array. We can take the data from the PHP side, since that we have used Ajax, and we're gonna validate them. Finally, if these all statements from here to here are false, it's going into the this else side of this if block. So in this else, in this else area, what it do is that it's gonna search whether there is a user in our database already have this mobile number or email. It's gonna check whether there's a user in this mobile number or email, and we're gonna check how many rows. Like in the previous time, there is a data set we're gonna get, and they're gonna check whether how many rows are in this data set, and we're gonna keep it as in the n variable. If there is, if the n is if the n is greater than zero, what it does do is that checking whether there are more data. More data than zero. More rows than zero. And if there is no rows than more rows than zero, it's gonna go to this else function. If there is more rows than zero, that means more there are users from this mobile and email. It's gonna go for this if block, and echoing what this is do is that printing user with the same email or same mobile is already exist. And if there is no users in this in the database side, it's gonna go for this else area, and it's gonna take the date time, and it's gonna take this time zone called Asia Colombo, and it's gonna convert our date time according to our time zone, and it's gonna take that uh, date time zone, and it's gonna format into the MySQL side date time data. I mean, in the MySQL side, there's a thing called there is a format in the MySQL side to keep the date time. So in the format that MySQL side keep in the date time is that first the year, then the month, then the date, and then the hours, minutes, and seconds. We're gonna keep that uh, date time in our date variable, and we're gonna use the insert, update, delete functions from our connection library, which I have shown you in the previous video, and it's gonna insert the the data we have gathered into our database side. You can see for each column, this is a one column actually. It's gonna keep the store this data in that column, and it's gonna echo. It's gonna print a success after this whole thing happens. After that whole process happens, and after that they're gonna send a message from the server side. That's what we're gonna check from here, whether the process that going in the server side is okay, and whether it's gonna send our mail. Whether it's gonna send us something, and it's gonna check whether the whole process is done. And if those two are true, it's gonna send us a text at this moment. Actually, if they actually could send us an object too, but at this moment they're gonna send us a text. You can see that, since we have done echoes in the PHP side, and it's gonna check whether uh, the text we're gonna get is a success. At this moment, after this all are done, we're gonna when it comes to this else, we're gonna have a echo call success. And if we got a echo call success, it's gonna in our index side there's a thing called message id. There's id called message. Let me show you the message id. You can see this is the message id. It's gonna take the tag of this message id, and inside that tag, that's what we called as inner html, there we are gonna write register successful. So inside this tag, inside this div, that means in here, it's gonna write as registration success. That's what we have done in the JavaScript side. It's gonna write as registration success. And after that, in the same ID called message, we're gonna uh, reassign the classes as alert success. So we're gonna take these classes and reassign a new class set from the JavaScript side, which are these. You can actually check what are those class set from the Bootstrap site, because they have a explanation in here. Let me show you. When you go to the content, I mean not the content components, we have the component called alerts. So we're gonna create a thing like this. We're gonna create this alert. You can see alert success in there. You're gonna take this class and reassigning the class into there as that. You can see that. You're gonna reassign this class set as this class set. And there's a thing called message to id in this in our index.html page, which is this. We're gonna take this tag, and if there is a display none, uh, if there's an we're gonna reassign the class names in that tag. So we're gonna take this tag, we're gonna take the classes, and we're gonna reassign this whole class set as display block, which means it's gonna display that whole div. And if it is not success, again we're gonna display that. Again we're gonna display that div section, and before that we're gonna. I mean, they are different in stuff in here. Like the response text can be this or one of these or these, or one of these echoes inside these if blocks. And if they goes to the one of those, if they goes one of for the one of those if blocks, and if they print a thing like invalid mobile number, we're gonna get the invalid mobile number as the response. And since it's not equal to success, it's gonna go for this area, and we're gonna we're gonna write inside this message tag that response, and we're gonna again display that message. So that is the sign up process. So I will also show you an example in here. You can see, I'm not gonna write anything in here, and I'm gonna sign up. It's gonna show this. And after we add some data, let's just give some fake data in here. Yeah. Yeah. See, you can see you get the message called registration success. In the database too, we will check whether we have entered the data. You can see that. You can see that the data have been stored in the database. So that's it for this video. So if you have any questions, feel free to put the questions in the comment section. So see you guys in the next video.